January the 1st, 2020 in Qualcomm Beach, and I was reflecting on my good friend Ray Shuper, and I'd like some of you out there to share some of your stories with me and others. I've sent out an email trying to put together an email list and present some stories possibly on paper that everybody can read and share. There's stories on the Winnipeg Free Press website, the funeral home website, Facebook. I'm going to compile all those and share those because I think Ray deserves a little send-off, which he didn't have, and I think he would have wanted one. I'm guessing, but I knew Ray for some 14 years on. I'm 71, that's a lot of years, and there's a few stories. I really enjoyed growing up with Ray. It was exciting. We did a lot of stupid things together, and you probably were not a good match because I think we only had one disagreement, a serious disagreement in all those years, and it didn't last very long. But we would make a few decisions to do some things that maybe weren't too wise and sometimes dangerous. We loved our vehicles at the very early age. Everybody wanted to get a car. I had a 55 Chevy, he had a 53 Dodge, and we each had a name for them. I called mine Sapphire. He called his, and I can't remember right now. This isn't prepared. If you know the name of his vehicle that he called it all the time, God, that bothers me. But for years, we called each other's cars by their names. And we always wanted to take our car when we went to a party, we went skiing, or we went to visiting someone. We wanted to take our own cars. We'd have a little disagreement, and quite often we both take our own cars, driving each one separately, quite a distance, because falling one behind the other. That was a little nuts, actually. But I remember one time in the winter we went to North Kildonan, outside of our territory, and Ray took his car, I took mine. We partied quite a bit. Got home 2 o'clock heading home at 2 o'clock in the morning down Main Street, and I stopped at Portage and Main, and Ray was coming from behind me. He didn't stop, and he ran me in the back end and knocked me up a few feet. And I turned around to look, and I thought maybe he fell asleep or had an accident, but he had his hands on the wheels and a big smile on his face. And I thought, geez, what an ass my friend is. Anyways, he took off when the light changed and got in front of me, and the next corner, stoplight, I ran into him. On the way home, we ran into each other probably 4 or 5 times, which resulted in bumper damage, front and rear, to both of our vehicles that we had to repair, which was quite easy in those days. But God, when we ended up getting to his house, we went inside and we had quite a chuckle. That's one of many stories. We would go out skiing, drinking, dancing, not dancing together, but dancing with other ladies usually. And we would end the night and sometimes go back to his place or my place, and we would chat and tell stories. But one night, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're all dressed up, suits, ties, all that kind of stuff, dress shoes. We decided to drive to Kenora, Ontario, and go downhill skiing. And we woke up in the morning when the ski hill opened, and we rented equipment and went skiing with our dress clothes on. Stayed there all day. I don't know where we got that stamina or whatever, but it's fun to ski in a suit and tie. We went skiing years later at Panorama, really enjoyed that. In fact, one time I was taking a picture of Ray jumping. He said, why don't you go down the hill and take a picture of me jumping? So we had this little jump, I'd gone over it, and I took my skis off. I was getting the camera ready, found a good spot, and he went, got some good air, and I got a half-decent picture, but just as he was looking at the camera, somebody skied in front, and he went to move, and he fell. And he went down, hit the hill, and folded. He looked to his body, he looked like he was dead. He crumpled and rolled down a few thousand yards down the hill. By the time I got my skis on, I got down there, and they had him strapped in, the ski patrol, He had dislocated his shoulder. He was awake at that point and sort of chuckling, and he took off. And it was about 3 in the afternoon. Later on that evening in the bar at Panorama, he walked in at 7:30, just as spry as could be. You wouldn't know. Arm in a sling, drinking again, partying. We were up till 2. The man had stamina, strength, and great sense of humor. Also, his mom and dad, sister, I knew, they were great friends as well. His mom, we had a bridge club. She used to overfeed us, and we couldn't play bridge there anymore because she would just keep the food coming. We'd end up stop playing and eating, and she used to stand back and watch us eat, and I think she thoroughly enjoyed us enjoying her food. Great parents and great friends for many years. In fact, Ray's dad had provided his Cadillac for us at our wedding. And actually, Ray had 2 1928 Studebakers in his dad's garage for a long time. He was going to have his Studebaker restored and ready for our wedding, which of course never happened. I don't know where those Studebakers are now, but he had done some work on them, but they still needed a fair amount. I loved Ray. We got along really well, but once I really started working and traveling, we lost a little touch, didn't see each other very often. But we don't have to see each other very often to be good friends. Whenever we did, we just reconnected very fast. And it's a bit of a blessing that a year ago at Ray's 70th birthday party, because I couldn't be there, I did a little video similar to this, and I shared that online. And so I couldn't get there for his birthday, but I think he enjoyed the video. But last year, at the last minute, I ended up in Winnipeg for 3 days, unexpected. And Ray and I met 3 times in those 3 days, and we went down to Gimza Hut. We sat there by the river, and it was in September. We chatted, reminisced, and what a blessing that was for me to have that time with Ray. And here it is, less than a year from his 70th birthday. I'm sharing some stories and reminiscing, and he's passed. I'm going to miss Ray. I'm looking forward to going to the Vincent Massey reunion on the 60th. I would have been seeing Ray frequently, and that's going to be a big void for me. There's a plan to possibly have a little gathering for Ray and toast a few for Ray, and I think he would really enjoy that. Ray was a good friend, loved the man, a kind individual. Rest in peace, Ray, and I'll never forget you.